Hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. All right, so I just got home, got off work, went to my oldest daughter's house, spent a few minutes with the boys. They were upset they couldn't come to Pawpaw's this weekend, and that's fine. They can't come every weekend, but the oldest one's got a school project he's got to work on, and both of them have a few chores they need to do. So I talked to them and told them, hey, you get your chores done. They both have improved their grades, so keep your grades good, and they'll let you come a little more. But either way, I came home, filled the chicken feeders, and checked on the chickens. Excuse me, my lip was itching. But got the feeders filled, collected the eggs, and from Sue's pen I had a 60% egg ratio. From Sonny's pen I had 60% egg ratio. Then I got to the White Knight's pen. He's got the most hens, 11, but only got 4 eggs, so about 35%. So that kind of hurt my percentage, but I did fairly decent. You know, I got 4 and 4, and then turned around and only got 4. So I got a dozen eggs today, and the Rhode Island Reds are the ones that let me down. But let me flip around. So there's my eggs. It's hard for y'all to see, but that's the blue one. There's a green one down there in the middle and over here. But anyway, they're all good size eggs today. So I walked around and looked at all the grow bags, and you know, I've got 11 grow bags with tomatoes in them. These 3 on this end over here toward the mini barn are cherry tomatoes, so they'll grow in little clumps and such. And then all the others, which I believe is 8, yep, are just regular beefsteak tomatoes. So I checked around, didn't see anything that's popped up. Today is Friday, and we planted on Saturday, so nothing's popped up yet as far as the tomato plants. So then I walked around and started looking at all the grow beds. These are 4x8 beds here, and then the other one on the other side is 4x8. These 2 in the middle are 3x6. Now, I ordered another 3x6 to go here where these 2 bags are. So that'll finish off all the large beds. I've got to get soil for it, so I've got to get it put together, and then I've got to buy some soil to fill it. And it takes a lot to fill up a bed these, you know, this big. I don't fill the bottom with logs and all that stuff like other people do. I just put all my compost in there and then put the organic stuff that I'm buying on top of it and mix it in. So I've got it. I got to get it put together. And since my grandson can't be here this weekend, he's upset that he can't be here to help me. So I may end up waiting until next weekend when he comes, and then we'll go, me and him together, we'll go buy soil to fill it up and all of that. But nothing's popped up in these large beds. And of course, that 3x3 on the corner is full of carrots. We did seed tape for carrots. They take a while to germinate, and I honestly thought about putting a board over it to help keep them moist, but I didn't. I'm just learning as I go. Now, my onions, when I showed y'all on the last video, I showed y'all I had, I'm trying to get around to the other side, that one in the corner over here that had a green when I planted it. Well, this one had a second shoot come up. Y'all see it's taller than the first one. Now, I saw it last time, but it was barely poking up. So then there's another one right there, another one there. I don't see one in the corner, but then there's another row. It's got some coming up right there, and then one here, and one here, another one there. So I've got a lot of onions. About half of them or a third of them have already started sprouting up, which is really good for me because I've never been able to grow onions. And I thought they would take a little longer, but they're popping up really well, considering it's only been 7 days. Today would have been the end of day 7. Saturday, since we planted on Saturday, would be day 8. So I plan on adding to this video on Saturday if the weather allows me to, and come out and show y'all what might be popping up. Now, I think I've got some early peas breaking the ground right there. But until it gets a little bit bigger, I'm not sure. But that's the only one. No, it's not. There's another one coming up right there by that stick. So they're starting to pop up. And I'm pleased with that. Again, it's only been 7 days since we planted. We've had a couple of really small rain showers since we planted, but we have not had a significant amount of rain. So if we don't get it's sprinkling right now very lightly. We had a little bit of a rain earlier, but just enough to wet stuff. So it didn't really moisten the soil. So tomorrow, if the weather allows, I'll get out here and water. But if it rains good tonight, I will not water tomorrow. But definitely from this point forward, since some of it started to pop up, I will start watering every other day until the plants get established and all of that. But I'll add to this video later. It'll either be Saturday or Sunday. I'll add to it and then get it all put together for y'all for Monday morning is my plan. But none of the zucchini have popped up. None of the squash have popped up. I've got a lot of little bitty green things in both of these potato beds here and this long one. I've got this half in white potatoes. This one's all red potatoes. So I got a lot of little bitty green stuff popping up, but I believe it's just weeds. I don't believe it's potatoes. So they'll have to get a little bigger so I'll know. And then in the end over here, I planted some more summer squash and I don't see anything popping up there. So I'll add to it and let y'all know how it comes out after 1 week and a day or a week and 2 days. And hopefully the garden's going to do well this year. And once these little green sprouts that I'm seeing, like right there and right there, see, I think that's just weeds, but if it turns out to be squash, great. But if it's weeds, I'll just pull them as they get a little bit bigger so I can identify them. But I'll see for y'all in just a few seconds. For me, it'll be either tomorrow or the next day when I finish this video. So thank y'all for watching. I'll be back. All right, guys, so it's Saturday evening, as you can see. Might be able to hear. It's fixing to rain some more. We've gotten about a ½ inch today and a ¼ inch last night. None of the tomatoes have popped through, but the early peas have in a few spots. There's another one there. Another one over there, and there, and this one in the middle. So looks like I got these 2 still to go. So the other 8 have popped up. So I got 2 left that need to pop up. Early pea. But anyway, the onions are doing fantastic. Look at that. Can y'all see all those sprouts? All that green popped up. They're doing really well. And I have not found any squash or zucchini that's popped up, or tomatoes. And of course, no carrots. They take longer. No potatoes. So just from last night till tonight, the early peas have popped out, and the onions have grown quite a bit more. I mean, they're growing fast. So no zucchini, no squash, no potatoes, no carrots, but the early peas, and they're 2 different types. This one is sugar snap peas, and that's just an early pea. They're both going to take about 60 days. They have started coming up really well. So after tonight with this rain, and then tomorrow hopefully we'll get a little bit of sunshine, I'll get more popping up. I see another onion coming up right there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I see 15 popping up. There's another little bitty one coming up there and there. So I got 15 onions already breaking the ground, so that's good. Never grown onions before, so we'll see. The squash and zucchini have not popped up, and neither have any of the tomatoes that I've seen. So I'll try to add some more tomorrow after church. All right, well, I'm just walking out here. Let's look and see what might have popped up. No cherry tomatoes in that one. No cherry tomatoes in that one. It's a nice sunshiny day today, but the wind is terrible. No cherry tomatoes in that one. So, not looking good for the tomatoes, is it? None popped up there. None popped up there. I know it's probably hard for y'all to see, but the sun's glaring on me so bad I can't hardly see through the camera either. But I don't see anything tomato wise that has popped up. I was hoping 1 or 2 of them would have started. Today is day number 9. This is Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. Man, that sun is out beaming good right now. All right. Not a single tomato has come up. So let's start over here. This has got the sugar snap peas in here and the early peas over there, which are both basically an early pea. So I've got one popped up there, another one there, there, and there. So all 4, I don't remember if I planted one in the middle, but 4 of those have popped up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 of these have popped up. So if I can point it out, it's right in front of that stick, about right there. So that one and that one, then one here, somewhere right here I thought I saw one. This is one of the, we were waiting on these 2 to pop up. There it is. I think, I don't know, that could be a weed, but that looks like it's popping up right there. And then another one there. So they should be in the middle, one in the middle here, because I put a middle one over there. And I thought it was here the other day. Yep. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I showed y'all that one the other day, but I don't see it now. But anyway, so there's 9 early peas popped up in this bed. Let's see if there's any more onions popped up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's, I think that's what I had earlier. But I'll take it. All right, now this should be squash. Yellow squash, summer squash. I don't see where anything but these little weeds have popped up. I don't see where the squash has broken through yet. And some of this stuff, guys, y'all know I've just started raised bed last year. Me and my grandson may have planted a couple of them too deep. We could have planted some of that stuff too deep. That's a weed, that's not a squash. So that could be our fault for planting too deep. It may take longer for them to pop up. Zucchini is in this middle bed. I'm looking. I just don't see any that's popped up. So zucchini and squash, neither one have came up on these two middle beds here. Let's go down here. We all, at least me, I don't expect carrots to pop up. And these were on the carrot tape. We've had quite a bit of rain. I haven't looked at the rain gauge, but it did rain really well yesterday, later in the day and last night. So, all right, this is red potatoes. This whole 4x8 bed is red potatoes. So I don't see any that look like a red potato to me. I see a clump of grass over there I need to get out of it. But I don't see any red potatoes. This half of this 4x8 bed is white potatoes. Y'all, I apologize for the wind. It is windy. But some black walnut shell that don't need to be in there. I see a lot of little weeds, but I don't see any potatoes. And then in this half of the 4x8 bed is a Dixie hybrid yellow squash. And look at there, I got one popped up right there, coming up. And I got another one right there that's already popped out. So 2 of the 5 over here have popped up. So that tells me within a couple of days, all the squash and zucchini should start coming up. And I did not, and I don't remember if I've talked about it earlier in the video or not, since this is day 3 of recording this. I went middle ways of each of the big beds, and I dug a hole. Y'all see where my finger's pointing? Looks like a bunch of weed right there. But I don't know what that is. I dug a hole, and peppermint seeds are tiny. So I just poured some in each hole. Every bed has a little bit of peppermint in one spot right in the middle on the edge. So I don't know what that will look like when it comes up, but this is definitely grass. But I'm pleased with it. We're getting a lot of sunshine today, hardly any clouds. It's a lot of wind, and it's going to get cold tonight, but your onions will be fine with that. It's going to get down to, they say, about 28 tonight. And it's not going to stay in that real cold temp very long. It'll get above freezing rather quick. So peas can take a little bit of cold temperature. They say cover them up if it gets, freezing. But I'm not going to cover these, just for the simple fact that it's not going to be a hard freeze here in Southwest Georgia. So I'm going to chance it and just not cover up any of this stuff. But I do have all them tarps over there I could bring over and bring some blocks over and stretch the tarps out over and cover them up, but that's going to block the sunlight out too. So, anywho, so far I'm pleased with the raised beds. No potatoes yet. I don't know how long it takes for them to grow. I've never been able to grow any type of potato. Red potato, white potato, sweet potato. I tried sweet potatoes in the garden space back behind us here. All that was garden. And my ground was so hard, even though I tilled it. I bottom plowed it and tilled it and planted. That ground packs back so doggone tight. The sweet potatoes would not break through the ground. So I never have been able to grow any kind of potatoes. That ground is just too hard. That's why we went to a raised bed garden. So I'm eager to see how the early peas do, how the onions do. I expect squash and zucchini to do great. It normally does for me. I don't know how these potatoes are going to do, and I don't know how the carrots are going to do. I did plant one grow bag of carrots last year, and I got a few little small ones. They weren't anything to be proud of. So hopefully I'll get better this year. Let me get over here to the chicken pen. All right. Once again, I apologize for all the wind, but they are wanting some scratch. So that's probably half a cup. This goes to Sue and his ladies. I did put the barnyard mix back in here. She's right there by Sue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there must be 2 inside the pen over there. There's 7 hens in there with Sue, so they must be in there laying eggs. Looks like I can tell they're in the nesting box. It's hard for y'all to see. So this is Sonny, and he's got all the black sex links. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they all lay some shade of brown egg. They've been doing fairly decent. So I'm gonna give them about a half a cup. And now, the White Knight has all Rhode Island Reds or Barnyard Mix. Some type of, there's some Rhode Island Red in all of them. And there's 11 hens over here. So he's got a few more than the rest, but that's just because when I separated the breeds out. So it rained a lot yesterday. I had my youngest granddaughter spent the night with me. She wanted to stay with Pawpaw, and she did. She did pretty good, actually. But I need to go in there and fill the feeders up and collect the eggs. I did not get the eggs yesterday. I just wasn't going to go out here in all the soupy mess because we had a lot of rain. I say a lot of rain. The day before yesterday and the night before that together was a little over 3/4 of an inch. And now that's almost 7/10, so not quite 3/4 of an inch again. So we've had probably 1.25 inches of rain in the last less than 48 hours. And it gets messy out here when it rains, and it'd sprinkle lightly and then it'd come down hard. So I just didn't come out here and mess with them. So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get in there and get the feeders filled back up. With them separated the way they are, the feeders will last 2 to 2.5 days on the White Knight's pen. The other 2 will last about 3 to 4 days on their pens because there's just not that many in each one. And they're all 10-pound feeders, so I'm gonna get off here and get over there and get their waterers. I gotta go grab their brush and wipe their water bowls out and clean them up, and then let them refill and collect all the eggs and fill them feeders up. Try to get done with this before it gets any later in the day. Right now, the sun is right up there. Y'all can't see it, but we've got quite a bit of the afternoon left. It's about 3 o'clock is what it is. So we've still got another 3 hours of sunshine, but this wind is just making it miserable outside. But guys, I appreciate y'all following along, hitting the subscribe button, ringing that bell, hitting thumbs up, leaving me a comment. It means a lot to me, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe, be prepared.